Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. This video includes paid promotion. This ad was done in collaboration with FortisX. So before we get into today's update, a quick note for serious XRP holders. If you're holding over $10,000, $25,000, or $100,000 in XRP, you already understand one thing. Positioning matters. Most people just sit and wait for price, but capital sitting idle is not a strategy. That's why I've been working with FortisX. They've built a liquidity-backed staking layer designed for long-term holders. No lockups, fast withdrawals, flexible structure. Your XRP stays yours, but it can generate yield while you wait for the move. And through my link below, you can receive up to a 10% bonus on one deposit. If you're positioned for the next leg up, your capital should be positioned as well. Link is in the description. All right, so we got Rand Nooner here. I thought you said Jane Street stopped selling at 10 a.m. Eastern. Well, apparently, guys, the dumping has continued. Look at Bitcoin. Back down to $67,000 as of the time of this screen grab here. So let's take a look at the chart, guys. This is a classic bearish pattern, and I personally think Bitcoin has more downward momentum to go. Right now, we're seeing one Bitcoin going for about 67,100 as of the time of this recording. See how we're seeing this just kind of trade in this region in here. I mean, we did see that major dip to the downside, rebounded quite significantly, and now Bitcoin is just pretty much just trading sideways. Let me get rid of the drawings, and you guys can see just kind of trading in this channel in here. No decisive move to the upside, nor are we seeing any kind of decisive move to the downside. So what this reminds me of, very much like what we were seeing back in 2022. Okay, the last time we had a bear year, this kind of pattern here, before we start dumping again. So when are we going to dump again? Well, Ash Crypto here pointing this out. Bitcoin has never closed both January and February ever in the red before. Maybe this is the first year ever. 2026, it was down 10.1% in January, and now February down 14.6%. If you take a look at Bitcoin's history here, never in the history of Bitcoin have we seen both a January and February in the red for Bitcoin. So this is a first, guys, and I mean, it doesn't look great, but this is just how the cookie crumbles, and we might actually see even more momentum to the downside. I have this clip here from CNBC. This was from a few years ago. This was actually from, I believe it was from June 2022, where Kevin O'Leary was talking about the crumbling crypto market. Now, to put things into context for you guys, June 2022, that was actually the worst time for altcoins specifically, for that particular bear year. This was June 2022. Many altcoins did see their bottoms. It took a little while longer for Bitcoin to see its bottom, but you got to think this was the sentiment in the space at that time. Bitcoin was already down about 75%, and there could be another catalyst bringing cryptocurrencies down even lower. Here's what Kevin O'Leary had to say back in 2022.
I would like to see, and I don't want this to happen, but it always gives you a good bottom when you get a large player over-levered that goes to zero. And that always tends to be the beginning of the rebuilding process. So if you have to sacrifice someone who used too much leverage, and it's always leverage that does this, somebody's over-levered, positions are complicated, they're not transparent, they're not liquid, someone's going to zero. I don't know who, but it'll be great for everybody else that survives because everybody will learn from that. And that's what I like about a washout, an event. And I think we're due for one in crypto land.
So we're due for a washout, an event, maybe something similar to what we saw in 2022, an FTX collapse, banks, Terra Luna going under, and, some of those crypto banks going under. Guys, we are still only in and around about, only now about 46% down from Bitcoin's all-time high. At the trough, we saw Bitcoin down about 52%. We are still technically in extreme fear, even though we have moved up a little bit, but market cap is down by 1%, just over 1%. Average crypto RSI is still kind of teetering in the middle there. Within the last 24 hours, we have seen money taken out of altcoins. I'm sure you guys felt that last blow. Rect Capital even commenting the shortest Bitcoin bear market lasted 365 days, so an entire calendar year. Bitcoin is only currently about 140 days into its current bear market. Any talk of the bear market being over already is probably premature. I do believe that too, guys. I'm looking for better entries. I know there have been some influencers who have said they've deployed capital already, Myself, I'm looking for the best entry possible, and for my Patreon subscribers, I'm letting them know first. Patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It's only a $5 subscription. There's only one tier. You got to subscribe, though, and stay subscribed to lock into that price. Guys, we're getting very close. We really want to nail this thing because, this is our time. This is our chance to lock in the best entries we can for the next leg up. Ted Pillows also commenting, it seems like Bitcoin is about to repeat the same fractal over again. A breakout above key resistance to trap late longs. Once more people are convinced that 60,000 was the bottom, the next dump to new lows will start again, or will still start. So this is what we're seeing, these inverted, or rather bullish pennant patterns. They're obviously the opposite of the bullish pennant pattern. I'm sorry, these are bearish pennant patterns, so upside down bullish pennant patterns. And we're continuously seeing these now on the Bitcoin chart as we slowly move further down. We saw it back in 2022. 2022 was a great year to kind of demonstrate these bearish pennant patterns down in here. And then finally, we bottomed by the winter, I guess, of 2022, the beginning of the winter. Even Leviathan is saying, Bitcoin repeating the exact same pattern from 2022. This is the final bull trap of this cycle. The bottom is not in yet. He's saying don't get shaken out. I'm saying you should have sold. When I was telling my Patreon subscribers that I was selling my positions, just giving us a bit of it's just a little video here just showing you guys bull trap. Yeah, I think we're going to actually move lower. So some more indications of that, guys. I will link all this in the description of the video if you want to refer to it. I also just wanted to refer to this tweet that I posted on February the 15th, my final cash outs. I will link this in the description of the video, giving you guys exactly where I cost averaged in and cost averaged out at, and the percentages that I made on my main cryptocurrency holdings. And again, there's a link to the Patreon there. The Patreon subscribers knew all this in real time, if that's something you're interested in. So we also have the Jane Street story, which I've been covering over this last week. I just did a video on that yesterday, which I will link up here. The conspiracy theories are wild, though, says Matt Hoogan. First it was Binance, and then it was Wintermute, and then it was an unknown offshore macro hedge fund, and then it was Paper Bitcoin. Today it's Jane Street, and the next week it will be somebody else. So the real reason Bitcoin is down is that a bunch of people who were long Bitcoin sold their Bitcoin exposure, sold it via spot. They sold it by unwinding leveraged positions, and they sold it by writing calls against their Bitcoin. They sold because of the 4-year cycle and because of quantum fears and because they wanted to invest in AI startups. They are mostly done selling, and we are in the process of bottoming. Says Matt Hoogan, we will set new all-time highs in the future. Notice how he does not say how soon in the future. I'm still thinking it is a 4-year cycle. He does, though, reiterate, just to kind of put a point on it, this is a classic crypto winter, and there will be a classic crypto spring. People want someone to blame. I get it, but the reality is far more boring than that. So, guys, it's still essentially just following, the boring cycle, which is good for us because that means we can plan entries a little better. They could be a little more predictable. We got XRP still languishing down in here at about $1.40. So XRP following Bitcoin as well. Are we going to see new lows for XRP? I certainly think so. Patreon subscribers, again, are just going to know first before I let everybody else know where I'm going to be buying the dip. There is some good news. Matthew Lany pointing this out. TPICAP Group is now offering XRP trading. So they're a UK-based spot crypto venue with TPICAP as your counterparty. So it sounds like they're an extension of Fusion Digital Asset, okay? They're an FCA-registered wholesale spot crypto asset exchange. They offer institutions a secure, transparent, and operationally efficient way to trade digital assets. Designed for today's crypto markets and tomorrow's on-chain financial ecosystem, Fusion delivers a market structure institutions recognize. And guys, they're supported by TPICAP and their global scale and investment-grade credit strength, reducing counterparty and settlement risk while improving capital efficiency. And notice they are not going to be focusing on any kind of meme coins. What's live right now? Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course, the main two. Coming soon, though, guys, Solana, XRP Circle, and FX on chain. So this is what they're focusing on. They note here flexible settlement for your preferred custody solution. So you can decide to settle any way you want. TPICAP enables seamless settlement directly from the custody or wallet provider of your choice. Our process is supported by Fusion's appointed custodian, a regulated digital asset specialist. And they're ready for tokenization too. Fusion is architected for the next era of blockchain-based markets, connecting clients to custodians, liquidity, and trading partners across tomorrow's tokenized financial system. So they are institution ready. They are trading. They're going to be trading XRP soon. Notice how, it's the same kind of cryptocurrencies that institutions are getting into. Note that, there are all kinds of cryptocurrencies in the space to distract retail. Some of these cryptocurrencies were more popular than others at different points in the game. 35.9 million cryptocurrencies total. Guys, that number is going to dwindle. So be sure that you're going to be making choices that are going to preserve your portfolio down the road. Here's just some more information about that. Anyway, wanted to thank Matt for posting that. And now we've also got this. Okay, the Trump administration pushes to pass clarity by March the 1st. That's only 2 days away, if you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it. The Trump administration is accelerating efforts to pass the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act. So that would be called the Clarity Act, with an informal March 1st, 2026 White House deadline to resolve remaining disputes. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is urging Congress to fast-track the bill for a spring 2026 signature, calling federal rules exactly what we need to stabilize volatile markets and reassure investors. Closed-door sessions with firms like XRP, Ripple, and Coinbase mark progress. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse also estimates a 90% chance that this is going to pass by April. So this, guys, again, could also have an effect on the market. I'm, in my Patreon, subscribers are asking how I'm gauging this. It's all got to come together. There are so many factors that I'm researching here to make sure we get in at the right point. But clarity, we could see a bump. Whether it's going to be sustained or not is yet to be determined. But what I've noticed, I think, which is more important, even though we have institutions talking about Bitcoin, investing in Bitcoin, it's the granddaddy, it's the most liquid, it's the most popular, it's got the most history. They're also slowly but surely, and in the past they weren't talking about this nearly as much as they're talking about it now, but they are realizing that the future of finance is going to be running on chain, and a lot of these other cryptocurrency projects are going to be important moving forward. Here's a clip courtesy of Smoke, okay, the NASDAQ. We are trying to get people to move past Bitcoin and into the actual future of finance. Listen to this. This is an interview from NASDAQ, and this gentleman here, he points out some pretty interesting things.
For a lot of viewers who are kind of new to crypto and don't really know what to think about stablecoins, don't really know what to think about wrapped assets like wrapped treasuries, stablecoins are great because they help keep value on chain where it needs to be. Wrapped treasuries and RWA items that are used for collateral, great. They allow people to keep things on chain, just to keep everything away from the fiat world. That's critically important. They say, well, how does that affect me? I don't know what to buy after Bitcoin. All of those things have to settle on a blockchain. They're not their own blockchains. They might settle on Ethereum or another blockchain, but they're going to need one. So when everyday investors are thinking, how can they expand their crypto knowledge outside of Bitcoin? Think of all the things that we're talking about. Most of them are going to have to settle, be executed and cleared onto a blockchain. Which blockchain those are going to be among the winners. So just a little bit to spread the knowledge. We're trying to get people past Bitcoin, which basically just moves from one address to another, into the future of finance. And all of the stuff that we're talking about here is going to have to participate.
So again, just to reiterate, moving past Bitcoin and into the future of finance, he was mentioning all those wrapped assets, okay, and all the protocols that are wrapping all kinds of other assets for tokenization purposes. Now, we've heard about all kinds of projects that are going to be wrapping XRP. So utilizing the real XRP, wrapping it, and then being able to tokenize whatever that is on whatever platform it is, using it for different purposes, right? This is the future, guys. It's going to be an interoperable network of all kinds of platforms that are going to be using crypto technology, DLT, blockchain, a mishmash of it all to tokenize the future of finance, and not just finance, the future of everything, the internet of everything, so to speak. So guys, there you have it. Brad Garlinghouse also made an appearance at XRP Australia Sydney 2026. This is the Wave of Innovation tool. And he even said here, it's not just one switch, it is 1,000 switches. We've heard this term before. This is a brand new clip of Brad Garlinghouse on stage in Australia. This one courtesy of Bank XRP. Listen to this.
There's not one switch. There's 100 switches. There's 1,000 switches. And it's all of these little switches, and bit by bit by bit, until it really does, I think, have an exponential impact. And I think you're starting to see that. It's taken a little longer in some cases, but on the other hand, we've made so much progress. And you're seeing more and more of these little switches flip. And it's the reason why I have so much optimism about 2026 and certainly beyond. But part of that truly is, you all are one of those flipped switches. Like seeing the passion in Australia, seeing the passion, we're on a kind of world tour right now. And like, it's awesome. And each of these individual things and the advocacy and clarifying and debunking the the FUD and misinformation. Like, it's all part of the number of switches that are being flipped. And I think at some point you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, the switch didn't get flipped. It wasn't one. It was the culmination of a decade of those events.
So that's what we're working towards, guys. Eventually, it's going to be a slow progression. There's not going to just be one flip of the switch. There's going to be several. This one from the XRP investor. Here's what nobody's talking about. XRP Ledger is now averaging about 2.5 million daily successful payments in February. That's up from about 1.5 million last quarter. Activity hit a 15-month peak of 2.7 million on February the 5th. But guys, we've got price still stuck below $1.40. The gap between network activity and price is huge right now. Institutions are building on the XRP ledger. Usage is exploding, but the token is trading like nothing is happening. This disconnect never lasts. When retail wakes up to what's actually happening on this chain, the price has to catch up. That's the play nobody is positioned for. So right now, we're still seeing price just kind of languishing, trading in a spec market. I mean, it's following Bitcoin. But guys, the activity on chain, still not enough XRP to make a dent. But if we are to believe what Brad Garlinghouse is saying here, and we are just one switch, proverbially one switch, everybody or every region or every project, it's its own switch. All those switches need to be flipped in order to truly see XRP price appreciation. That really means we've seen the real utility, and whether that goes to 3 or 4 or 5 digits, that is still yet to be determined. I don't think any kind of technical analysis could really predict where XRP could be when we do see a fully functional XRP ledger and how long that's going to be. Until then, guys, we trade in a spec market. We use Bitcoin as the indicator to best predict where this market's going to go next. I personally think we're going to see lower lows for Bitcoin and many other coins. If you guys want to follow what I'm doing, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. The subscription, again, is only $5 a month, but you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to lock in. And I'm also offering merchandise at the Working Money Channel merch store. If you guys are interested in helping to support the channel in a different way, all kinds of great Working Money Channel merchandise. Check it out. Link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.